deeply
indicted.
deeply, profoundly indicted. He invited, he brought in the frame, and then actually won the larger actual argument here about what privilege, what access, what supposedly not doing the work is. He also wasn't afraid of celebrating greatness. There's no contradiction between a radically egalitarian democratic politics that materially assures everybody that still is going to want to pursue human distinction and greatness and artistic, athletic, and all other endeavors. He celebrates that. He talks about a rich and dynamic culture along with understanding profoundly our interdependence, both to each other and in our broader ecology. His ability to recognize people as complex individuals beyond how capitalist realism and projects that flow out of capitalist realism see them, only as competitive subjects in a market, or the essentialist left, simply as amalgamations of identities with ascriptive identities and behaviors that are acceptable or unacceptable. He sees people as broad living organisms. And that's why when he even calls Donald Trump a gangster, even someone as Donald Trump, which is, you could not find an easier person to simply write off for being a thoroughly grotesque, evil person than Donald Trump. He's up there in the top tier. Cornel West is still turning back on himself in terms of, I have my own gangster traits. The irony of this ability to self-access and not exclude anybody in a fundamentalist, fanatical way actually incentivizes the types of self-inquiry and capacity to actually truly transform institutions, individuals, economics, and behaviors and culture. When Gramsci talked about hegemony, he was talking about a bold strategy to win over people to Marxism from across cultural and regional groups, not to force a specific culture on society. We need to be winning over football fans, hype beasts, and everyone else. That doesn't mean you for a second compromise on your values. I've never seen somebody more committed, frankly, to a broader set of values. Marxist, Christian, humanist, civic, and revolutionary than Cornel West. That synthesis, that broadness, that's why I admire the man so much. There's too much focus on making socialism a social distinction. It's not. It's a movement for liberation that means including many different people. And of course, that brings us back to Mark Fisher's genius 2014 essay that we haven't fully absorbed yet, The Vampire Castle. A socialism that's exclusive cannot win, and is exactly the kind of toxic strategy that we need to avoid on all costs and only plays into the hands of capital. As Mark Fisher argued, why would capital be concerned about a left that replaces class politics with moralizing individualism that's far from building solidarity and spreads fear and insecurity? This is also why, though, that when we talk about things like love and vision and empathy, it includes all of that, includes the changes, and includes the transformations in a broad, inviting, and strategic way. Gramsci said, the popular element feels but does not always know or understand. The intellectual element knows but does not always understand, and in a particular does not always feel. We need to free ourselves from the habit. This is also Gramsci from the selected writing. We need to free ourselves from the habit of seeing culture as an encyclopedia of knowledge and men as mere receptacles to be stuffed of empirical data and a mass of unconnected raw facts which have to be filled in the brain as columns of a dictionary, enabling their owner to respond to the various stimuli of the outside world. And finally, the challenge of modernity is to live without illusions, without becoming disillusioned. I'm a pessimism because of intelligence, but an optimist because of the will. As Cornel West shows, the left can talk about ourselves as individuals, even as we speak about our broader spiritual, revolutionary, and social desires. We don't have to choose between achieving personal greatness at the expense of our neighbor or comrades. And we don't have to choose to shrink back from challenging and transforming ourselves from new systems of isolation, control, and hectoring. We can win with a politics of love, community, inclusivity. We just need to build it. That's why West did so well on Rogan.